racing action. It's 30 minutes in your Volkswagen Motorsport India, your Volkswagen Virtual Racing Championship, and we start now as they get themselves underway. Then the run towards turn number one already. Raghav Budaraja then trying then on the second row to get himself hard to the inside. That he's got it covered, but there's Rishabh Banerjee straight down the inside, but has he gone too deep? That's a brilliant pass to get things going. Rishabh then into the race lead. Ravindra stays in third. Couple drivers running wide there in the background, but everyone is through okay through the Lassos hairpin, and now you got. But at least for the time being, then, it is going to be Rishabh Banerjee, Oshan Kapadia, Arrow Ravindra, your top three.
I kind of... Number one, we still got over 28 minutes to go. It's still very early in the race. Can Amit Kurif make a fight back? He starts doing that with a fight with Raghav Budaraja. He's up to number 14. Up next, Neeraj Jain is close but not close enough.
Is Rishabh Banerjee then on the front of this field. The top three are trying to break away from Navneet Kumar, who is in fourth position at this moment with one lap scored complete. There is Kapadia, and now they're going to start thinking about how can they gain these small places here. A place here, a place there definitely does mean a lot when you get to the end of these sorts of races. We go on board. You can see the lights, all dramas, and that's the 26 going around for a spin. That's Swaraj Yadav finding himself in troubles. Kuti's through both of them and up into 11th place with Ryden Samravel and that bit of contact. There are a couple of penalty points that do come in from the stewarding team after races are completed, but that sort of contact, the back had already gone, and Kuti's already thinking about top 10. Raj.
Really challenging car. He's really challenging Raj Tula. In fact, he does it very, very well as well. Passes in without any problem. He says, thank you very much. Space given, space taken, and now comes Bunjal Savla. So,
big instance then has gone on here, and that was Rishabh Banerjee, and that's the 16, I do believe, who's now found himself in trouble. So Rishabh Banerjee then in more trouble, and now down into 10th place. So Banerjee, is this going to be to the outside? He'll have to try and look. There's the red proximity arrows. He moves to the inside then a little bit on the mid to late part of the straight, gets down the inside. Amit Kuti was never going to be in any real worries with that. Now moves into fourth place. It's lap traffic, I do believe, in front before reaching third. So it's going to be a long, long wait for this one in the future. But Amit Kuti knows in the number 15 that this is probably the best result that he was looking for right now. Getting places early, up to fourth place, and we're still not even 1/3 of the way through this one at the moment. But that is the move then, I believe, of Abhimanyu Menon. Side by side, Anuj Raj is there on the inside trying to hold this one off, but as they go along, Raj just about doing enough then, it seems, as on the brakes. It stays as is then for the time being. Very easy to run into troubles there through Blanchemont. Not a corner you want to traditionally go too wide in, but ultimately able to keep place. Is Jamie Shaw, who is in 5th position at this stage and just trying to run the own race at this moment in time. We had an opportunity just a little bit further behind that. So Garvit has a target, and Jamie Shaw will not be liking the fact that there's a bit of traffic here, trying to get back on by and gaining or a lap back in this sort of race, because we don't often see lap traffic at Spa-Francorchamps. It's a very long lap around this place, but Jamie Shaw knows that this is not ideal for the way that Jamie wants to be driving at this stage. But
everyone wants to finish much higher up, and one of them is Jamie Shaw. And we'll also look at possibly Rishabh Banerjee taking on the fight with Raj Tula a little bit later.
Little bit of a jump there over the AstroTurf for Divyang Dodya. He loses the place. Ravindra is back into position here with one Mr. Oshan Kapadia. We're going to step inside, but is this going to be defended enough by Navneet Kumar? They are door to door, wing mirror to wing mirror as they go on in, and Amit Kuti just picks up third.
Well done, Amit Kuti. I was just hoping Navneet Kumar had defended so far. He defended about 5 corners, but then when the straight come in, he had to take the throw. And
I believe he is attacking here, and just Cathanio's got the match for him at this stage. I'm sure Aravindra's giving everything for the race victory. He's that sort of driver who wants to win and needs to win. He's been so good at the start of the season. He was the driver to beat for the longest time before he started just picking up those results that didn't fall in favour. But Aravindra knows that he hasn't got much time left. He's got 2 laps to figure out a way by Oshan Cathadia, and it's just simply put going to rely on a mistake from that number 23 machine, NECC on the side, and pushing wide like that coming out of Stavolo is one of the reasons why Cathadia is trying to get that gap, because he's using all of the track limits and a little bit more to try and extend that gap out. They know they've got a huge margin to Kuti in third. It's just between these 2 drivers. But what they also know is that Oshan Cathadia is just pushing on with enough, and he's been the driver. If it hasn't been Ahmed Kuti, it's been him setting the fastest laps of the race. Yeah, he's had a fantastic drive today, has Ahmed Kuti. He's got 1 more lap, though, to just bring the car home. No chance of gaining those places up to second or third, first position. He's done really well on damage limitation. He's only dropping 4 points right now to Ara Ravindra. That gap will still be over 1 race buffer as things stand. But Cathadia, at this moment in time, you can see here, has just been able to keep an arm's distance in that scrap. This is Abhimanyu Menon as well, trying to get himself to Nirav Jain in 12th place. So still positions on the line, and Jain's run very deep there through Lecom, and that's just pressure, and that's how easily it tells. Inside looking there from Abhimanyu Menon. He can't quite pick it up then through the right-hand bend there at Malmedy corner. But Nirav Jain is very heavily defending here in the late stages. We go on. They're all closing together there. That's Ahmed Kuti in the background. That's Ravindra all over the back here of Oshan Cathadia. I wonder if they've got fuel issues here with just how close they are all starting to maybe close themselves back in again. And now you start wondering here, is this going to be a finish where everyone's just looking at the fuel gauge to try and get themselves over the line? Look at how quickly Kuti's closing these lots back in here. He's got himself down to about 5 car lengths here to Ara Ravindra, and this is a real scare for these drivers. It is still Cathadia out in front. They have just about done enough, but this is really a case of, on this last lap, both of them just getting into a close position, hoping that they were going to find themselves with safety, and they are just trying to save as much as they can. It's 1 final chicane to go. Cathadia is there down on the brakes. Look how much Ravindra closes up, but through the final corner, Oshan Cathadia, look at them, they're nose to tail as they come across. Here, Ravindra's going to try and steal it here over the line. I think he's just about managed it as well here as they get themselves over to the dash. I think it's Ravindra's as he crosses the line. We'll have to wait for confirmation. Cathadia may have taken it as well, but those two were side by side over the line. Ravindra, pretty much at the last possible moment, went for the drive over the line. Kuti in third, Kumar in fourth. What on earth happened over the end for Cathadia? Either the tyres hit a cliff, or it was a case of, with such a long final lap, an extra 7Ks on fuel, they were cutting it really fine on fuel margins there, Solomon. That was pretty close, and too close for comfort.
Too